Peace, family. How's everybody doing? I hope that you all are having a wonderful day so far. I'm actually ahead of myself since I nearly killed myself trying to get some extra work done through the last couple of weeks because I had 2 new clients and all those yearly videos, and I said to myself, if I don't do this and get ahead, I am going to drown in work. And that's not my safe space. I don't like drowning in work. So thank God that I did get ahead, because now it's actually the 8th. And I already have the Gemini full moon video done. That's what we'll be discussing today. And I have the first part of the Jupiter entering into Pisces video. I think you guys are really, really going to like it. And I say the first part because what I did was I broke down the esoteric version of the winter solstice to describe how that is relative to the Bible, the planets, and astrology. So I hope you guys really like that. I'm not a professional in this stuff, so I'm still learning, but I still got a good, I think, amount of information to really help you guys understand what I be saying sometimes when I be on here wilding. Then maybe you guys will begin to understand. Now I know why Keisha be saying what she be saying. And just to learn, too. And you can take what I say, and for sure, I hope that you guys are always and forever fact-checking me and going to do your own research. That's where the real learning begins. And you open up portals, and you do get answers back. Not to be fear-mongering, again, people. But the universe does talk to you, you know. And it's a beautiful process. And something that I think now is the time we're going to see on a very massive scale with this Jupiter and Pisces energy. So this is going to be a pretty big deal. And I, for one, quite frankly, am extremely excited and honored to be alive at this time, to be experiencing this at this time. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but we'll be talking about it. We will be talking about it. But, and then I have another career video that I need to do. And then I think 2 other signs right off the tippity top of my head are about to change. So I think Mars is going into Sagittarius on the 13th. And Mercury is moving into Capricorn on the 13th as well, if I'm not mistaken. And so I don't know if I'm going to do a video on both. I might, but I'm definitely going to talk about Mars moving into Sagittarius, because Sagittarius rules Jupiter. And I think it's important for us to track that process to understand what Jupiter is going through as it transits to Pisces. These things are important to understand the backline, the backstories, and kind of have something in stone that you can go back to and check and say, okay, what was happening prior to that? You know, this is how you keep track of time when you're doing astrology. And when I say time, I mean universal time, global time, personal time, you know, and what's going on with you in your life. Why? This is what it's all about. So super excited to be getting onto those things. And next week I'll actually start the Taurus eclipse horoscopes for January. So I'm on it, y'all. Like, I got my whole life together or whatever. And I'm feeling really good. I had a good class tonight. And before I go on and completely bore the heck out of you guys, I'm just going to jump right in. So those are the updates. Do I have anything else? I don't have any other specials. Today is the 8th. I talked about this marks the day of being in business for 1 year. So if you know anybody looking to get free horoscopes, to get free readings, send them my way. We're gonna do this until the 11th. That's Sunday. So free readings in celebration of our year of being in service until the 11th. And then that promotion will be over. I might post it in other places, but to be honest with you, I'm happy working with what I got. So my name is Keisha. I'm the owner of A Way of Life. I am a career and business coach using astrology. And today we're going to be discussing the Gemini full moon happening on December 18th or the 19th, depending on wherever you are in the world. So full moons are always bring things to light, to a head, to a culmination. Gemini is the messenger. It rules facts, practical knowledge, media, communication, words, the lower minds, and how to navigate here on Earth. Mercury rules motion, activity, the ability to communicate and connect with others, writing and speaking. At this time, you'll be asked to look at how you connect with others through conversation, communication, words, the lower mind, knowledge, media, and how are you moving through here on Earth, right? Gemini rules curiosity. It wants to explore. It's the twins and the zodiac archetype. So you're invited to kind of explore two sides of a coin while not losing your sense of the whole, and also embracing both male and female energies. They're really all one and the same. Not being separate from the experiences that you're having, which creates imbalance when you do that. So when you completely give your entire energy to the 3D, this material realm, without staying in, I want to say, realistic about the fact that, we're not really here, we're here, but we're not really here. Or we're here just to have this human experience, but not as a way to actually believe that anything that's happening here is real. I hope that I'm making sense on that. And that's going to be super important to remember once we get into talking about this Jupiter Pisces transit from an esoteric point of view. This is very important, and I'll talk more about that obviously in that live, but just remember this because it's all happening. What's the 18th, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, about 2 weeks after the Gemini full moon, and it's closely related to this idea where we're kind of separate. Very heavily, a lot of us are separate from this true knowledge. So, once you master this, you transcend duality, light and dark, yin and yang, right and left, and so on and so forth. Understanding this area of your chart helps you learn this lesson. When you engage in a vibration that is both feminine and masculine, and you align with a vibration, like activating a pulse, a frequency, meaning you move towards it. That's when you're in your masculine state. So if you guys been listening to me for a long time, I'm always talking about, well, I did a lot of talking. I'm not always talking about, but I have done a lot of talking about masculine and feminine energy and understanding, from men is about movement. They're hunters, it's their job to go out and gather, to act, movement, and when you move into a feminine state, you're more observant, of how your action is bringing in feedback to you, right? It's like a lure, like a woman's alluring you in. You know what I'm saying? That's actually why I put this Gemini divine twin soulmate. This is really, also, I shouldn't say it is really. It is so many different things. A love reading, in a sense. It's really going to depend on where this is happening for you in your chart to really depict what it is. But it is about a twin flame, how are you luring in? How are you attracting? And observing that, observing what you're doing, how you're doing it, when you're doing it. And that's all of what Gemini is about, right? Observation and using Mercury to do that. And that's going to be pretty much the basics of this Gemini full moon. And then we have Venus retrograde, of course, which is actually the same day, if not the day after, that Venus actually goes retrograde, even though I've been talking about it since November, the end of November, because it was in shadow phase, and now it's actually retrograde. And so there's going to be just more remnants of that twin flame energy, because Venus rules love, money, beauty, right? But it's more powerful and potent at this particular time, because whenever you have a retrograde stationing, whether it's going direct or retrograde, what happens is it stops. And then it goes into retrograde motion, and it's really, really, really slow until, it picks up. It might pick up a little bit of speed, but it's in retrograde, and that's slow energy, especially because Pluto and Venus will conjunct this, will also be conjunct. This is going to be about how you get pleasure and passion. So you're really going to be asking yourself all those tough questions on all those videos that I did, like 1,000 of them, because I really wanted people to get this. Yes, the focus is now on love. We can't refute that, right? But with Venus and Capricorn, we are really going to make sure we're getting our values worth. So if you're already in relationships, you're reevaluating your values and your relationships, especially now that work and all these other freaking changes have come over the last 18 years, right? Literally, our values have changed because the world has changed, right? And so money has changed, living conditions have changed. And this is one of those really brilliant times for people who are in relationships to kind of sit down and reevaluate what you guys want that to look like moving forward. How are you going to keep the peaceful, loving relationship that you have with everything that's changed. You know, moving some things around, readjusting some things. And maybe nothing needs to be changed, but it definitely should be a conversation, right? If you're single and you're just dating, this is brilliant. Just saying. This is brilliant for just dating. I'm not talking about anything else. You know, and how you date is obviously your business. I'm not even going to give a response on that. But to remember, we're talking about Capricorn, values, and Pluto. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're doing anything out of order, oh boy, is it going to show up. And it's going to hurt this time. But not to hurt you, but so that you can reevaluate your values, right? How are you really going to get what you need to get out of a relationship if you're not taking the appropriate steps? Now, whether you know it or not, right? We're not nitpicking here. We already know that this country has done a pretty bang up job on not teaching us etiquette or how to do any goddamn thing for that matter, you know. Not to mention it's now trickled down into generations of family trauma, and what we focus on is not uplifting and teaching us these types of things, right? And then you don't have a strong male structure in the home that's going to tell a young lady, you just don't do these things because men are going to take advantage of you. Point blank period. Even if they have the utmost respect. It's in their natural instinct to do so, right? And so how do you refute that? Boundaries. That's right. You got to have strong boundaries, strong values, and you stand firm in what it is you expect that man to do. And if he's serious, he's going to stay and abide by your boundaries and your values. And not because it's about a control thing or he's, you know, I got that on lock type thing. That's not what we're talking about. But 90% of the time, it's more than likely because he has the same values and respect for you, right? And that's really when it gets beautiful, you know? And so, if you've been dating for a while, you've kind of accomplished some of those beautiful boundaries and you've built up a nice rapport, if you will, between the two. And you understand what the mission is now, right? And so you're moving to the next level now. Congratulations to all those in that position. That's a beautiful place to be with the Venus and Capricorn, because Venus and Capricorn commits, you see. Now you're on your way to marriage, you know, and it really just doesn't get any better than that, you know. So kudos to all who may be experiencing those things. Yeah, so you're exploring your sensuality. That gives you pleasure, whatever that is for you. And then you got Pluto. This is evolution and permanent endings. So this could also just be about ending really bad habits within those topics, right? Whether it's money, beauty, relationships. And remember, this isn't just romantic relationships. This is all relationships. So if you've got bad habits when it comes to business partnerships, if you got bad habits with your friends, if you got bad habits with your family that you're close enough to call friends, even family relationships, it's really hard for me to give that a definition, but in a sense, like perhaps you don't have good boundaries with your family and you're always giving, or they're always taking type of deal. That's a good way to put it. you're ending all of that permanently. This is an ending here. Yeah, because Venus is our value system, what matters to us, where you're invested, and where you're going. Where you're going, what are the next steps? What do we got to do to continue again, kind of on this journey? And then Capricorn is the bigger picture. Capricorn is the goals, the vision board, on how to get there. And when it's in retrograde, you're just reprioritizing all those things, reconsidering, what creates stability, what needs to be reworked. This is really going to highlight how you feel and being honest about that with truth and integrity. And I really like that. I think that's going to be freaking awesome. Awesome, especially with Mercury and Capricorn at this point, and Mars and Jupiter. That could cause a little bit of strife. I'm not going to lie. Like you might butt heads a little bit with that Mars and Jupiter energy, because Mars is strong in its beliefs and world views and opinions. But Jupiter also kind of slows Mars down a little bit. And I also feel like there's some level of understanding, like where we're coming from. I feel like at this point, everybody's just, quite frankly, freaking had it with this lockdown, COVID, like everything that happened over the last 18 months, and it's like, how are we going to move past this? What can we do to make things better? And how are we going to secure that, So, I quite frankly am looking forward to it myself, just to kind of sit down and ponder. But on the global scale, things can come to light about all of that, everything that I said, but from people in power, meaning finances might come up, right? Shared finances with Pluto. Or it could be secrets coming out about, sex scandals. Good God Almighty, if we're having conversations about the freaking values of America and where we're at today, I don't want to be there for that conversation. But it could be a thing. It could come up. What are our values now as a country after everything that happened? But either way, it's an intense urge through writing or making a difference in some kind of way. And then Sun is in Sag, which rules wisdom, law, and justice, expansion, joy, optimism, opportunities, and expanding your reach. So obviously travel is the first thing that comes to my mind. People just might want to freaking decompress, have some kind of relaxation, or just getting out and doing something fun. Even if it's just a car, it doesn't even have to be like a flight. It could be like a car trip to just drive somewhere, any kind of celebration, any kind of, this would be great to start thinking about your New Year's resolutions, if you're into that thing. Just being grateful for everything that you have. right? But overall, this is very, very, very upbeat, joyful energy here with the people that you love, you know? And then obviously you got the global perspective as always. So there's more cases here. With that Mars and Sagittarius, unfortunately, I think we're going to hear more about the school shooting and maybe kids taking a stand from school. They don't want to be in school, demanding school from home, or just the youth enraged about something in general. Yeah. Just being very opinionated, you know, around belief systems, and then Mars is going to conjunct the South Node on the 15th opposite the Moon. And the South Node is our collective past. So, yeah, just a lot of high emotions about Mars themes. So, movement. Good God, I really hope. I don't think I've expressed it much on any of these lives, but I'm so hoping they're not doing a shutdown. Family, you have to understand how powerful this energy is. And the reason why people are in such an uproar is energetically, even if we can't like consciously intellectualize what's happening, we feel it in our body that we are being liberated on a level that is so huge. Like, we want to break free from the chains, you know, that have been bestowed upon us for so long. And this lockdown, I think, has only really just infused this energy even more. And you know, I'm just really with that South Node energy. You know, I'm not gonna say I'm worried. I'm not. I'm just saying that these people know what time it is. And in order for them to control the uproar of liberation would be another lockdown. You know, it would be another lockdown. That would be the easiest way for them to do it. And I'm just hoping that that's not it, but I just got to be honest. It's a possibility, you know, fighting for your rights here, not taking no for an answer. It's just not a good energy, family. I'm gonna leave it at that. So stay grounded, right? We got Mars trying Chiron. Thank God for that. So Chiron's the wounded healer. And hopefully, you know, what comes out of this is something. Maybe they'll throw some money at us instead of locking us down, because it actually wouldn't behoove them to do it with Christmas season. If I'm thinking about it logically, it wouldn't support them making the money to meet their quota that they need to make. So perhaps this can be in the form of money with that Mars and Chiron energy, you know, some more stimulus money. Let's throw some money at them, let them go shopping so that they can take their mind off of the liberation, give us our money back, and we can make a little money off of that. Hoping that's more of the storyline than anything else. And then Mercury and Capricorn rules messages from authority governments, big business that can change plans. So if you have anything planned, just, you know, I mean, I feel like I've talked about it before that they have, so they're not doing like complete lockdowns, but they have these restrictions and rules that you can't go into places unless you have the jab. It could be more stuff about that. You know, don't bother going out and making any plans if you don't have the jab. You know, it could be that too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lockdown. And you'll make the best out of it with that Jupiter energy. Jupiter will be like, you know what? Well, maybe we can't do this, but let's try to make the best of our plans anyway. So get creative, you know, tap into that Aquarius energy, right? Tap into that. We got the last bits of Jupiter still in Aquarius, you know. So how can you creatively think of ways to celebrate this year? Try something a little different, a little new. All right. And then Mercury will square Chiron. So facts and information around sickness, health, healing, right? Because Chiron's the wounded healer. Oh, yeah, guys. You know, it could definitely be, you know, about the jab and how, you know, their restrictions on how they think we should be celebrating this holiday and the choices that we've made around these topics are all up for review. You know, and then Mercury will trine Uranus. So this is the higher, lower mind working in tandem, which I like. So you'll have intuition, clarity, observation, and mental energy. I like this because, again, it's going to help. If you can't do something, it's just going to help you be in rare form on, you know, how you can celebrate differently and stop making that a tradition. Again, going back to your values and how that might change. Maybe you don't even really have the money to do anything anyways because of what's going on, right? And you got to get creative, you know, and still make it fun, you know, and make the best of it. It could be things like that. Yeah. And then, like I've been talking about for the last 800 years, no, I'm just joking. Saturn, Uranus square, right? The last activation of this. I actually think this is happening after the full moon, like a few days after. So how can we have boundaries and feel free? We want to be liberated and joyful, but we have to do it with heart, honor, integrity, spirituality, knowledge of self, and living in our purpose and being disciplined, you know, and that really ties it back into this Jupiterian, Jupiter moving into Pisces energy. Guys, I know you probably like, Keish, nobody knows what you're talking about. We don't understand. This is going to be so beautiful. The winter solstice this time around with everything that's going on. I just feel like people are going to have this ultimate upliftment of unconditional love and compassion for one another on such a mind-blowing level. I just think it's really, really, really going to be beautiful, especially for people who are in the fields of spirituality. I think that we are going to get some of the most loving and beautiful liberation from this energy. Like, it's not even funny. It's going to be like a hug from the universe, you know? That's how I really, 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 really feel. And so embrace it, you know? Embrace this time despite what's going on. Stand your ground. Don't act out of character. You know, get into your spiritual practices, have faith and believe and know that we were incarnated in this time for a reason. We have something to give back to help throughout this time. And your only mission is to focus on what you're good at and how can you turn that into something profitable to help you get through. No. I take that back. To help humanity get through this time. You know, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And I think it's here. It's coming. If you don't get some kind of good feeling from this, well, I'll be damned. And everybody's not going to get it at the same time, too. So, you know, keep that in mind as well. You got a whole 5 months of Jupiter being in Pisces to get a feel. And I wish and pray that every single one of you get some of that. As usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you